Part 1. Darth Jar Jar, the Sith Lord, hidden in plain sight. For decades, Star Wars fans have debated one question: who was the most powerful Sith Lord in galactic history? Was it Darth Sidious, Darth Vader, Darth Bane, or was it Jar Jar Binks? That sounds ridiculous, and honestly, it probably is. But what if I told you there is an enormous amount of evidence that suggests Jar Jar Binks may have originally been intended to be something much darker than comic relief? Today we are exploring one of the most famous conspiracy theories in all of Star Wars, the Darth Jar Jar theory. And by the end of this chapter, you might never watch The Phantom Menace the same way again. When Jar Jar first appeared in Episode 1, audiences immediately viewed him as comic relief. He was clumsy, annoying, constantly making mistakes. Almost every scene involving Jar Jar was designed for humor. Yet something strange happens when you start paying close attention. Jar Jar survives situations that should kill him, repeatedly. During the Battle of Naboo, Jar Jar accidentally defeats multiple battle droids. At first glance, it's slapstick comedy. But look closer. His movements resemble martial arts techniques. Several fan analyses have pointed out similarities between Jar Jar's combat movements and Force-enhanced fighting styles. Coincidence? Maybe. Then there is the issue of influence. Jar Jar somehow gains the trust of Queen Amidala. He becomes a representative in the Galactic Senate, and eventually plays a critical role in granting emergency powers to Chancellor Palpatine. Think about that. One of the most important political decisions in galactic history happens because Jar Jar introduces the motion. Without Jar Jar, Palpatine's rise becomes much more difficult. Without Palpatine's rise, there is no Empire, no Darth Vader, no Order 66, no galactic civil war. Jar Jar sits at the center of everything. And that's where the theory becomes interesting. What if he wasn't a fool? What if he was pretending? The strongest argument comes from George Lucas himself. Several people involved in Star Wars production have suggested that Jar Jar originally had a larger role planned for future films. Some fans believe Lucas intended a shocking reveal, that Jar Jar was secretly manipulating events behind the scenes, a Sith operating under everyone's nose, a mirror image of Yoda. Think about Yoda's first appearance. He pretends to be a foolish old creature, then reveals himself as one of the most powerful Jedi alive. What if Jar Jar was intended to be the opposite? A foolish creature who eventually reveals himself as an incredibly powerful Sith. The symmetry is hard to ignore. Of course, there are major problems with the theory. No official canon source confirms it, no film ever reveals it, and Lucasfilm has never endorsed the idea. Yet even today, Darth Jar Jar remains one of the most discussed theories in Star Wars history. Because deep down, part of us wonders, could the galaxy's greatest Sith Lord have been standing right in front of us the entire time? Verdict: unlikely, but fascinating. Part 2. Mace Windu survived. The year is 19 BBY. The Republic is dying, and Jedi Master Mace Windu stands face to face with Darth Sidious. This duel changes the galaxy forever. Or does it? Most fans believe Mace Windu died after being blasted from a Coruscant skyscraper. But Star Wars has taught us one thing: if you don't see a body, never assume they're dead. Consider the evidence. Mace loses a hand, an inconvenience in Star Wars. Luke loses one. Anakin loses several. Count Dooku loses both. Losing a hand is practically a rite of passage. Then comes the fall. But Jedi survive impossible falls constantly. Obi-Wan survives massive drops, Anakin survives, Ahsoka survives. Even Emperor Palpatine survives falling into a reactor shaft. So why couldn't Mace? There's also Samuel L. Jackson. The actor has repeatedly stated that he believes Mace survived. Even George Lucas reportedly told him he could believe whatever he wanted about the character's fate. Then Disney began bringing back seemingly dead characters. Darth Maul, Boba Fett, Palpatine himself. Suddenly, Mace surviving doesn't seem so impossible. Imagine an older Mace Windu, living in exile, watching the Empire rise, waiting for the right moment to strike back. The theory remains unconfirmed, but among Star Wars conspiracies this is one of the most believable. Verdict: entirely possible. Part 3. Obi-Wan had a secret child, the mystery of Corky cries of all the Jedi in Star Wars history. Few embodied the Jedi Code more than Obi-Wan Kenobi, disciplined, loyal, dedicated, the perfect Jedi, or so it seemed. Because hidden within Clone Wars lore is a mystery that fans have debated for over a decade. A mystery involving Duchess Satine Kryze, the woman Obi-Wan loved, and a young Mandalorian named Corky Kryze. The theory begins with something George Lucas himself emphasized repeatedly. Jedi are not forbidden from love. They are forbidden from attachment. That distinction is important, because during the Clone Wars, we learn Obi-Wan and Satine shared a romantic past, not a crush, not a passing friendship, a genuine romantic relationship. Obi-Wan even admits that had Satine asked him to leave the Jedi Order, he would have done it. Think about that. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi, the man who follows the rules more closely than almost anyone. And yet he was willing to abandon everything for Satine. Now enter Corky Kryze, a young Mandalorian who appears several times during the Clone Wars. Officially, Corky is described as Satine's nephew, but there is a problem. We never meet his parents, not once. In a series filled with family connections, Corky's mother and father remain strangely absent. Fans immediately noticed something else. Corky resembles Obi-Wan. The same facial structure, the same coloring, even similar mannerisms. Could it be coincidence? Absolutely. But conspiracy theories thrive on coincidences. Supporters argue that Corky may secretly be the child of Obi-Wan and Satine, a child hidden from both the Jedi and Mandalorian politics. A secret that would explain why his parentage is never fully explored. If true, it would fundamentally change Obi-Wan's story. The ultimate Jedi rule follower would have broken the code in the most personal way imaginable. Of course, there is no official evidence confirming this. No canon source supports it. Yet the mystery remains. And as long as Corky's parents remain unidentified, the theory refuses to die. Verdict: unproven but suspicious. Part 4. Could Grogu become a Sith? The dark future nobody wants to see. When Grogu first appeared in The Mandalorian, fans immediately fell in love. Small, cute, powerful. He became one of the most popular Star Wars characters ever created. But beneath that adorable exterior lies something unsettling. Grogu has shown more dark side tendencies than many Jedi trainees. Let's start with force choking. During The Mandalorian Season 1, Grogu force chokes Cara Dune. This isn't an accident. Force choking is traditionally associated with the dark side. It's an ability fueled by aggression and fear. And Grogu uses it instinctively. Then there is his attachment to Din Djarin. The Jedi have always warned against attachment. Anakin Skywalker fell largely because he couldn't let go of those he loved. Grogu faces the same challenge. He repeatedly chooses emotional connections over Jedi teachings. Luke Skywalker eventually recognizes this. That's why Grogu is given a choice: stay with Luke or return to Tin. He chooses Tin. Many fans celebrated this moment, but some saw something darker. The first step away from Jedi discipline. Now consider Grogu's age. By human standards, he's a child. But by species standards, he's already around 50 years old. He's experienced Order 66. He's witnessed violence. He's survived unimaginable trauma. Could those experiences eventually lead him toward darkness? Some fans believe so. Others argue the opposite. Grogu consistently shows compassion, empathy, love, qualities associated with the light side. And unlike Anakin, he has time people around him who understand the dangers of attachment. Still, the possibility remains fascinating. Imagine a future Star Wars film revealing Grogu as a powerful Force user struggling with darkness. Not a Sith Lord, but someone constantly tempted by the dark side. A mirror image of Anakin. A character forever balancing between two paths. Verdict: possible, but unlikely. Part 5. R2-D2 is the real narrator of Star Wars, the droid who witnessed everything. Now we arrive at one of the strangest and most charming theories in Star Wars. What if the entire saga is actually being told by R2-D2? At first this sounds ridiculous, but the deeper you dig, the more interesting it becomes. Think about it. R2 is present for nearly every major event. The fall of the Republic, the Clone Wars, the rise of the Empire, the Galactic Civil War, the New Republic. Very few characters have witnessed as much history. Unlike humans, R2's memory is never wiped. C-3PO undergoes memory wipes. Clone troopers die. Jedi vanish. But R2 remembers everything. Every secret, every battle, every conversation. Now, add another detail. George Lucas once described Star Wars as a story being retold long after the events occurred. A legend passed down from generations. According to some interpretations, R2 and C-3PO were envisioned as storytellers preserving galactic history. Suddenly, many strange details begin making sense. Why are some events exaggerated? Why do certain heroes appear larger than life? Why do some stories seem almost mythological? Because we're hearing them through the lens of a storyteller. And who better than R2? He adored Anakin, respected Luke, loved Leia. His version of history would naturally emphasize the people he cared about. Think about the implications. Every movie, every battle, every dramatic moment could simply be R2 recounting the greatest story ever told, not as an objective historian, but as a loyal friend remembering the people he loved. It's a beautiful theory, and unlike many others, it doesn't require hidden Sith Lords or secret conspiracies, just a very old droid with an incredible memory. Verdict: surprisingly plausible. Part 6. Did Palpatine kill Padmé? The most disturbing theory in Star Wars. Of all the theories in this documentary, this may be the most chilling. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, Padmé Amidala dies. Doctors are confused, they can't explain it. Physically she's healthy, yet she continues fading. Eventually she dies moments after giving birth. Officially, we're told she lost the will to live. Many fans have never accepted that explanation. And that's where this theory begins. At the exact same time, Padmé is dying. Anakin Skywalker as being rebuilt as Darth Vader, burned alive on Mustafar, missing limbs, severely injured. He should be dead, yet he survives. Some fans believe these two events are connected. Not metaphorically, literally. The theory suggests Palpatine used Sith abilities to drain Padmé's life force and transfer it to Anakin. Think about the scene. The movie constantly cuts between them. Padmé grows weaker. Vader grows stronger. Her life ends. His continues. The visual storytelling almost invites comparison. Supporters point to Darth Plagueis, the Sith Lord supposedly capable of manipulating life itself. Palpatine spent years studying those techniques. Could he have finally mastered them? Could Vader's survival have required another life to sustain him? If so, Padmé becomes the final victim of Palpatine's greatest manipulation. Not simply murdered, consumed, used as fuel for Vader's rebirth. The tragedy becomes even darker. Anakin's desperate attempt to save Padmé would have directly caused her death. The very thing he feared becomes the thing he creates. It's horrifying, it's poetic, and it fits surprisingly well with Sith philosophy. Of course, there is no definitive canon confirmation, but many fans consider it more believable than losing the will to live. And honestly, it's easy to see why. Verdict: one of the strongest Star Wars theories ever created. Ending Star Wars has always been more than lightsabers and space battles. It's a universe built on mysteries, questions, legends, and sometimes the most fascinating stories are the ones never officially answered. Was Jar Jar secretly manipulating the galaxy? Did Mace Windu survive? Was Obi-Wan hiding a child? Could Grogu one day fall to darkness? Is R2-D2 quietly telling us the entire story? Did Palpatine steal Padmé's life to save Vader? Maybe, maybe not. But that's the beauty of Star Wars. The galaxy is so vast, its history so deep, that there is always another mystery waiting to be explored. And somewhere out there might still be truths we've completely missed. The Force works in mysterious ways, and sometimes so do the fans.